Hello, I'm Sienna Bose, and welcome to my channel, Learning Builds Life. And today we're going to talk about some common misnomers, or incorrect or unsuitable names. But before we begin, I have a small request. Please watch this video till the end because it's useful for everyone. Now we can begin. First misnomer is lead. When we refer to lead in common language, we refer to lead in the pencils we see. When we use pencils, we use a heavy lead. But that lead is not actually the metal lead, which we write symbolically as Pb. It's a metal, but actually the lead is lead in pencils, is graphite and clay. Lead is a metal. We don't use the actual lead metal in the pencils. We use graphite and clay in our pencil lead. Next, misnomer, French fry. The French fry, as the name suggests, comes from France, but actually it doesn't come from France. Means French obviously means coming from France, but it doesn't come from France. It comes from Belgium. It comes from Belgium. The French fries come from Belgium, not France. So French fries originates from Belgium and not from France. It originates from Belgium and does not originate from France, even though the name has the word French. Next, peanut. Now from peanut, immediately would think that it's a nut because it has a nut suffix over here, peanut, but actually it's not a nut. It's not a nut. It's a legume. Peanuts aren't nuts, even though it has nut over here. We call it peanut, but it's not actually a nut. It's a legume. Next, dry cleaning. Now, dry cleaning does not mean that it's dry and we clean with just detergent and leave it away and it can clean on its own. No, dry cleaning means not using water as a solvent. To not use water as a solvent for cleaning or some other solvent, when we use some other solvent for cleaning, we call it dry cleaning. Now, I don't know why we call it dry cleaning, but I know that it's using another solvent and not just dry with some detergent and washing in the machine and it's clean already. No. Moving on to guinea pig. Now, guinea pig neither comes from Guinea. It's neither an animal which originates or which actually its habitat is in Guinea. No. That's one part of the name, which is clarified, nor is it a pig. It's not a pig. Neither a pig nor originates from Guinea. Next misnomer, starfish and jellyfish. Now, starfish and jellyfish. Now, one part of the name is correct because starfish looks like a star and jellyfish kind of feels like jelly, but none of them are fishes. They aren't fishes. They are just having the name fish, but they're actually not fishes. I don't know why they've given fish as the name, but obviously the first part of the name is correct. That a starfish looks like a star, and jellyfish, in jellyfish, the fish actually feels like jelly, only very soft and smooth, but it's very dangerous, just remember it. Moving on to koala bear. Now, koala bear first of all, is an Australian marsupial. It's an Australian animal, but that's very clear. But it's not a bear, actually. It's not a bear. It's a marsupial. Now, the meaning of marsupial is it's an animal whose young one is not fully developed at birth. So maybe their mothers have pouches or some other protective center where their babies can feed and protect and develop over there. And once they become mature enough, then they come out of the pouch. That is a marsupial. But koalas are not bears. Koala bear is not correct, actually. It's a misnomer. As it's in the heading, it's a misnomer because bear, it's not a bear, it's a marsupial, and it's from Australia. Just note it down. It's from Australia. Velvet ant. Velvet ant is not an ant, even though the name has the word ant. It's actually a wasp. You know, wasp is an insect of Vespa family, which has very painful sting. If it stings you, then you need to bear some pain. But velvet ant is actually a wasp and not an ant. This is too a kind of misnomer, which I think people may tend to mistake this if they don't know what is a velvet ant. So I'm just clearing it that velvet ant is not an ant, it's a wasp. Next word is horned toad. Now, I think if this word was given to any common person, that person would immediately say that, oh yes, it's toad, it's toad. It's not a toad. It's not a toad. Though it's telling clearly here, horned toad. It's telling clearly toad. It's not a toad. I'm emphasizing here it's not a toad because here toad is written separately. So any person may get confused that horned toad is a species of toad. But actually, it's a lizard, a very gross lizard, which no one likes to see maybe, but it's the fact that horned toad, even no one likes to see a toad, but horned toad is actually a more hideous creature that is a lizard. Horned toad is a lizard, and emphasizing again the toad, it's not a toad. Next is shooting star. Now, shooting stars are not stars. They're not stars. There may be meteors or meteorites. Now, I want to emphasize here too, these are meteors. This is correct. And they are meteorites. There are meteorites or meteors, but not star. Here also, it's like toad. I'm emphasizing here because star is separately written, so any person may get confused. It's not a star. Even a person may get confused when they see one shooting star coming, because when we see a shooting star coming from space, it looks like one very shining ball of fire, but actually it's a meteor or meteorite. And the difference between meteors and meteorites is that meteorites are big and meteors are small. Our last misnomer is it's a Fibonacci sequence. Now here I want to emphasize, here the CC section is pronounced as CH. Fibonacci sequence. It's not pronounced as Fibonacci. That's wrong. I also, when I practiced first, I said key, but then I found out it was chi. Fibonacci sequence. Now, first we need to know what is a Fibonacci sequence. Then we need to go on to why it's a misnomer. A Fibonacci sequence is like, I'm writing one now itself, so that I can explain very easily. Now, in a Fibonacci sequence, take the sum of the previous two numbers must give the next number. Like here, 1 plus 2 gives 2. 1 plus 1 gives 2. 1 plus 2 gives 3. Then 2 plus 3 gives 5. 3 plus 5 gives 8. 5 plus 8 gives 13. Then 8 plus 13 gives 21. And it moves on. Actually, it's infinite because the number system itself is infinite, so obviously the Fibonacci sequence is also going to be infinite. Now, why is it a misnomer? Because we consider it was found out by the Italian mathematician Fibonacci, and hence it's called a Fibonacci sequence. He is an Italian mathematician. He's an Italian mathematician, but actually was first discussed by Indian scholars. Sorry. Got a little carried away by the spelling. Scholars, hundreds of years ago, before Fibonacci even came to know about it. First, Indian scholars were discussing about it hundreds of years ago. Then Fibonacci, and the sequence is named after him only. Hope you like this episode, and please like, share, and subscribe my channel. Thank you. In the next block, we will discuss on English, episode 5, which is where pronunciation does not go hand in hand with the spelling. Please subscribe my channel and press the bell button.